African youths want to self-determine. That's what keeps them optimistic about the continent. And self-determination for most of them is about entrepreneurship. How can I create my own prosperity and not wait for a government? Digital literacy, access to data should be human rights. It should be a basic human right. So how do we close the gap in access to data, access to broadband? How do we close the gap for affordability for a lot of these young entrepreneurs? Because once we do that, we open up a global market. We open up a global learning opportunity for them. And it's very critical right now, even in promoting entrepreneurship as a pathway for success in the African market. So I think youth productivity is how to ensure that we're not just getting our youth in low-paying jobs. We want them to be more productive so they can contribute better to our gross domestic products, to the economy, and not just low-paying wage jobs. So we want very decent jobs. We want them to be better equipped to produce, to add to the economy. By productivity, therefore, we're not saying that they must have jobs. It could be entrepreneurship. It could be them being part of a global workforce. So working from Africa, but servicing companies outside the continent. I think first is how do we start much earlier, getting them ready as global workforce. There's no doubt that we have to be very deliberate about starting pretty early because it just gets better. But waiting till the last minute or when they're post-university is not helping. So we have to be more deliberate about the levels, we have to be more deliberate about the content and the timing of them starting. There has to be a sense of partnership and collaboration, that everybody's core objective is competence. And that one, I think we all agree, is the main thing is competence. So how do we make sure that the schools, the OEMs, the equipment manufacturers, the government, everybody is on the same table to achieve this? In Germany, you have a labor market information system where the schools can go to and find out the skills that are required in next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. How can we make sure that kind of information is flowing even to Africa, to the schools? Then the companies or the OEMs take responsibility on equipment, teacher training, to deliver the kind of workforce they need across the globe. And we can do it in a hub structure. So not necessarily that every country gets every country gets a training school, but the government schools already exist, private schools already exist. How do the OEMs partner with the schools that exist and ensure that the curriculum is up to scratch, the equipment is up to date, so that the learning going on in those schools are very relevant? The skills that they require are being fed to the schools as well. And the students are getting the right counseling with regards to the best way that the best education that will give them the livelihood that they want.